Hello everyone, today we're going to be talking about some interesting yet not surprising comments that Montreal Canadiens GM Hughes has said as recently as yesterday. But before we start, please make sure to subscribe to the channel if you are new and want to see more content like this. Now let's talk about the Habs. So, Montreal recently was eliminated from the playoffs, but the interim head coach Martin St. Louis has had things go much better for the team than previously. Now you look before Marty took the reins, they were 8-30-7 in 45 games played under Dominic Ducharme compared to 10-7-4 in 21 games played under St. Louis. This turnaround has caused even Montreal GM Ken Hughes to say recently in regards to keeping the former Lightning legend, quote, "I'd like to see him be part of the Montreal Canadiens organization for the long term and remove the interim tag, if that's a question you're asking," end quote. And that was in regards to a thing about TSN, and they were asking him about there. But he was saying that essentially, yes, he expected Marty to have an impact right away, but not an impact like we saw here, which has been really good and much needed for this organization. And we know that Montreal, if they had a full season of Martin coaching them, would be on pace for 94 points in a season. Now, that would be so much better than what they went through this year. And obviously things, are early, but is there or are there actual reasons the Habs should think about bringing him back as the official head coach next season? At least, if not for just a one-year trial. My argument is probably going to be yes, with a reasoning behind it, as Montreal has had more success with him, like we said, than previously in the season. For starters, I think a big thing here for Montreal is their goals for percentage in the first 45 games at 5-on-5 play was 38.2%. Good enough for second worst in the league at that time, being outscored 110-68 in that span, compared to their past 21 games with a goals for percentage of 51.85%. Good enough for 11th best in the league, while outscoring teams 42-39 in that span of games as well. Yes, they are still getting beat quite a bit when it comes to scoring chances on a regular basis, but they have been able to get some more important guys, their younger guys, to play better right now under the new head coach, and that is the biggest thing. Now, of course, the most notable thing of these players and them is that Cole Caulfield and Nick Suzuki, those are the two guys you're really going to hone in on, and you say we need to make sure that they're getting better and improving. Now, it's important to note, there are certain categories I looked at and I said, okay, they are better in these categories. As a team, there's still a lot of flaws, but in terms of these two guys, things are looking better for them, and there's plenty of opportunity to grow. In the moment, I'm going to say that I am in favor of bringing St. Louis back next year for at least one season, unless you find a guy that really you feel like is the right fit for the long term. You have to understand that Montreal is not a juggernaut. I'm very aware that Montreal hasn't suddenly played so much better that they are just a totally different team under Martin. But they are winning games, and keeping a guy around in St. Louis who keeps the young guys loose, keeps them happy, and then playing a little bit better than before, that's not the worst idea. Plus, you get to have some consistency around those young guys. You don't just want a coaching carousel over and over and over. So I think that that's probably going to be the case. And there's a legitimate chance that this team regresses back to similar form earlier this season. That kind of look wouldn't be crazy considering the defensive issues they have, but I also can't blame all that on Martin, as this roster is far from being a complete deep roster by any means. And you got to remember, they haven't had Carey Price all season, which could be a much needed returner, a fresh face, but a familiar face coming back for them next year if he isn't rusty. But I guess we'll see what happens here. But again, all signs seem to point towards Marty coming back and staying in his native Quebec. Who do you think will be Montreal's head coach next year? Do you think it should be Marty? Do you think it shouldn't be? Let me know down below in the comments as to why. And also make sure to like this video if you enjoyed it. And don't forget to subscribe if you enjoyed this video and want to see more content like this. Everybody stay safe. Have a great night. You love hockey, alright. Goodbye, Brigadiers and Brigadettes. This is your captain signing off. Have a great night.